just continue to trust in God, continue to pray for God to give you wisdom, and continue to ask God to guide your footsteps as you continue to go on this financial journey. Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Wealth in Christ Show, a show where we inspire the masses to become financially free while building God's kingdom. On the show today is just your boy Dami, and today we're talking about the different ways to achieve financial success, as well as debunking the myth that entrepreneurship is the only way to achieving success. Contrary to many gurus and people online that glorifies entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. Not everyone is not cut out to be an entrepreneur. In fact, statistics shows that businesses fail. 1 in 5 businesses fail in their first year of business, and then that number jumps up to 50% within 5 years. So that's basically to say that for some, entrepreneurship may be for others, while for others, other ways to achieve financial success may be for them. And somebody find other ways of achieving financial success. Other ways of achieving financial success are climbing up the corporate ladder, and a seller in your chosen profession can lead to increase in earning and financial stability, as well as investing in stocks, real estate, and other financial instruments can also pave the way to achieve financial success. So there's so many different ways to achieve financial success, and it's important for us to not downplay someone else because we're achieving financial success in one particular role. Entrepreneurs online are often downplaying the roles of other people in society that do climb the corporate ladder in order to achieve financial success. That are doing different things, whether it's investing to stock and real estate. And just to show you that there's enough things out there for everyone to become financial success. But everyone's way to become financial success, to achieve financial success, will be different, and everyone's financial success will be different. I want to kind of go on to say that, financial success, just going on to saying financial success, will be different for everyone. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Financial success will not all look alike. For some, it may them be having a 6 or 7 bedroom house. To others, it may be, living in a single family house, no debt, everything's paid off. We're driving a 2016 Toyota Camry. For others, it may look like, driving the latest Lamborghini. But it's important to not compare yourself because, as we know, comparison, it just leads to destruction. And it's important to also understand that, we are all not called to do the same thing. We all are to be on the same mission, which is to glorify Christ, to give honor back to Christ, as it says in Colossians 3:17, where it says, and whether you do it in words or deeds, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and give thanks to God, the Lord the Father, through him. This verse emphasizes the importance of doing everything, both in our words and in action, in a manner that aligns with the name of Jesus Christ. It encourages believers to live out their calling and purpose in a way that honors God and express gratitude to him. So it's important for us to do that. Whether we are entrepreneurs, whether we are business owners, whether we are climbing the corporate ladder, wherever we find ourselves, continue to make sure what we're doing represents Christ. The way we carry ourselves in our different business transactions, the way we carry ourselves through the different interactions we have with our employees, interviews, that it all represents God. Because at the end of the day, we're all called to serve one another. We're all called to live a life that glorifies God. Not everyone is called to be an entrepreneur, which I have said many times. And, you don't need to make, high 6 figures or make high 7 figures or make high 8 figures in order to attain financial success. In fact, you'd be surprised that a lot of people don't make 6 figures in order to achieve financial success. You'd be surprised that the amount of people who have attained financial success, and like I said, financial success look different for each person. It depends on each person's perspective on what they think is success. Financial success is influenced by a lot of different things. The way you was raised, the way you was taught in school, your environment, the people you keep around you. Financial success, the way you perceive financial success will look different. The kind of videos you watch on YouTube or social media, the people you look up to as idols, or different things that will affect the way you look at what it means to be financially successful. But in all things, there's a few things that I can say that is not characteristic of someone who has financial success. And a few things are: one, someone that does not have financial success is living paycheck to paycheck. From last time I checked it, about 70% of Americans specifically are living paycheck to paycheck. And I could just imagine that number increasing or being about the same globally. So just as to say that, in order to truly achieve financial success, you can't be living paycheck to paycheck, or, business transaction to transaction, or sale to sale. You need to find a way where the cost of your living is lower than the money that you're bringing in. That's what you want to do. The cost of you living must be lower, significantly much lower than the money you're bringing in order to attain financial success. And there's a few things that you can do to make sure that, you can get your cost of living down. Just create a budget and see where you can make changes to. See where you can cut back on, whether it's cutting back on going out to eat, cutting back on going out, hanging out with friends. These are different things that you can do to reduce your cost of living. As well, which is important, you can also increase your income, either by starting a side hustle, either by getting an extra shift at work, working overtime. Are other ways that you can increase your income. Because I do understand that not everyone is maybe in a position to cut their spend. But those are a few things that you can do if you're in a situation where you're living paycheck to paycheck. Is really, one, look at yourself and come to terms that you want better for yourself. Two is create a budget. Three, come up with a solution, whether it's decreasing the cost of living or increasing your income in order for you to not live paycheck to paycheck. Additionally, is we also be mindful of debt, as oftentimes you hear entrepreneurs and investors and business owners talk about how they use debt to buy assets, they use debt to create passive income. Yes, all that is true, but it's important to make sure you're not over leveraging yourself. If you look through history, whether it's the 2008 housing crashes, or even recently, currently right now, this past year, a lot of businesses that were not able to pay off their debt. As a result, whether it's the bank crash, all these different things that happen and we're seeing on social media, is because these organizations were over leveraged. These organizations were over leveraged on debt that they couldn't afford to pay back. So it's important to make sure you're not overwhelmed by debt. As easy as it is to get a credit card, it's important to make sure you have the capacity to pay it off at the end of the month. That's a good rule of thumb. The capacity to pay off your credit card at the end of the month. Don't pay the minimum. You want to pay it off. If you want to truly attain financial success, you want to pay off your credit card. You want to pay off your car loan as quickly as possible. You want to pay off your mortgage as quickly as possible. Those are different things that you want to do. As well, in terms of school and things like that, so you want to make sure that you're not just why you're going to school. Because oftentimes people go to school thinking that, they're going to get this degree and they're going to get this job. And oftentimes that may not always be the case. And as a result, they have a student loan that they can't afford to pay with the job they have. So those are just things that you guys should keep in mind. And if you're in a situation where you're going to college this year, or you're looking to go into college or go back to school, I would suggest, and highly suggest, for you to network with people network people in that career field, in that industry that you're trying to get, and see whether or not that degree is necessary. See whether or not it's necessary for you to go into student loan debt. See whether or not there are grants available, scholarships that you can qualify for, to avoid, over leveraging yourself in debt. So those are different things that you can look at in order to make sure you're not over leveraging yourself with debt. Hey family, I hope you're enjoying this episode so far. And if you are and you have yet to subscribe to us here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. And also, if you're listening to us on Apple Podcast and you have yet to leave us a 5-star review, please do so. Now back to the episode. And just as important as it is to not over leverage yourself with debt, it's also important to make sure you have emergency fund. I would suggest having at least a year of emergency fund. That way, if you do lose your job or if you do need to take a mental health break, if you do want to venture out and you want to become an entrepreneur, test the word entrepreneurship, start a business and not have to work a 9 to 5, at least you will have enough savings to carry a year long. You wouldn't now be fussing or be up late at night worrying about how you're going to pay this bill, how you're not going to pay it. As long as you have a year or two, even better, of money saved to cover your expense, you should be fine. In addition to having an emergency fund, is also think about retirement. Think about when you're not able to work. Oftentimes, we believe that we would never get old, or we would not be in a position where we can't work or we can't, fight for ourselves. But, we don't know the future. We don't know what life will look like. We don't know what can happen the next minute, the next hour to us that can change our life drastically, whether it could be a health situation, whether it could be us losing a loved one, and all these different things, different factors that can change and affect us in a way that we don't expect. And that's why it's important to, as soon as you start making money, to start planning for retirement. There's so many different tools that you can use, such as, you can open a brokerage account and start investing into ETF that mirrors, the overall market, that follows the SP 500, which often for the past 40 years has been given about 8 to 10% back. Or you can open a Roth IRA where you can invest about $6,000 on a yearly basis. There's so many different options out there, and it's important for you to do your research. It's important to get educated on different ways that you can start preparing for retirement, because retirement is not an age. You should be looking forward to retire as soon as possible. Getting to the point where you know that your bills are taken care of. You have assets that are paying for your livelihood. You don't have to work, whether it's in business or whether it's working a corporate ladder. Being retired gives you the option. You want me to in that position to retire. You don't want to be forced to retire because you reach a certain age. You want to be willing to walk away from a business, walk away from a career choice, because it's your time to leave, it's your time to go, it's your time to change or pivot, if in the case that may be. In addition to having an emergency fund, preparing for retirement, it's also important to make sure you have insurance. There's different type of insurance that you need to have. You need to have life insurance, home insurance, car insurance. All these different things are important things that you need to have. Health insurance. These are all valuable insurance that you need to have to help position yourself to achieve financial success. Because you don't want to be in a position, for example, where you don't have health insurance and you do come upon having a sickness, God forbid, or having cancer, and you can't afford the medical bills. You can't afford to take a treatment option. So that's why it's important to do these things now. The best time to do something it was yesterday, but today is another opportunity to get things done. In addition to that, it's just to truly continue to remember that it's truly important to remember that this journey to financial freedom and journey to achieving financial success is truly a journey. It's going to require you to be patient. It's truly going to require you to take your mindset to the next level. It's going to require you to truly trust in God. Truly trust that God will provide a resource. God will give you the wisdom to know how to leverage. How to use the different resources that you may have in there to you. And just important just to go on that path. It's important to connect yourself with mentors or a community focused on financial well-being. And by the way, you can join the Pray Invest group on Facebook, where there's a community of Christians who are working towards becoming financially free. As well, you can look to, just educating yourself, whether it's reading the book. It's said that The average millionaire reads about 2 books every month. So just even if you can read a book every month, or just watch a couple of videos that are constantly keeping your mind up to date on what's going on in the financial world. Because often, the saying goes, money does rule this world. A lot of things that we do, a lot of things that we are concerned about is, and we want to make changes. So we need money. We need money. We need money in order to make those changes. We need money to make those causes to happen. So it's important to just get yourself educated. Just understand that the more educated you are, and not only just get educated, but be able to take time and apply the wisdom, apply the knowledge you gain from the different research. Whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it is a interview, whether it's a podcast, whether it's you reading a book. It's important to take the actionable steps that they give you and actually use it. There's no point of you getting all this knowledge. No point of you hearing me break down, debunking why entrepreneurship is not the only way to become financially successful, and for you not to take any steps towards achieving financial success for yourself. And lastly, just to wrap this up, oftentimes, when people are in this process of when they grind or trying to achieve financial success, they often neglect relationships. They often neglect experiences that they could have gained that they can never gain back. It's just important to understand that as you're going through this financial journey to achieve financial success, it's important to enjoy. It's important to not just focus on accumulating wealth, but to enjoy the different things that life has to offer, the different good things that life has to offer. With the people that you love and you care about, because life is very short, and you don't want to be in a position where you're like, dang, I wish I had this opportunity. I wish this person was still here for me to say this. While you still have life, while the person that you love and you care for is still here, make sure to let them know that they're appreciated. Make sure to let them know that even though you're focused on this financial journey, achieving financial success, that you still care about them, that they're still important, that you're still there for them, and you're still able to be there for them when they need you. And as a result, just continue to trust in God, continue to pray for God to give you wisdom, and continue to ask God to guide your footsteps as you continue to go on this financial journey. As always, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, stay blessed, and I'll see you guys next week.